Hey everybody, hope you're having a fantastic day. Just wanted to tell you, Happy New Year. May it be productive, profitable, enjoyable, and you are well on your way to creating the life that you enjoy getting up for, and don't go, oh man, I gotta do this again, let me go back to bed, that type of deal. If you're a first-time viewer, we appreciate it. Whoops, stop, bang, bang. Do me a favor, like this, subscribe. We're all financial independence here on the Hustle Nation. We're trying to get to the point of having, oh, sorry about that, that type of money. Screw you money, okay? What I mean by that is that you wake up in the morning and you say, you know what? I want to do what I want to do, and I want to do it with who I want to on my time frame. I'm not punching a clock. I'm not going in helping somebody else build their dream. I'm building mine. So there you have it. This, and before I go any further, if you would like free 15-minute phone call, okay? Normally I do charge, all right? And I do take people under my wing. I do coaching. Just had a gentleman that he's buying his first rental property, and I think he ended up saving $40,000 on the purchase price of a home because he followed some of my suggestions. And I actually got to a point where I said, hey man, there's nothing more than I can teach you, you know? I really just can in good conscience, you know, keep on taking your money and everything. And so it's not so much as, hey, I'm just doing this for the money and everything, but I find that when people pay for something, they tend to be a lot more enthusiastic into it, so to speak, than when I have not charged. It failed miserably, and I was more worried about your financial well-being than those people were. So there you have it. But if you'd like just 15 minutes of my time on the phone, there's a phone email in my description, that rentalrobertpcola@gmail.com. You can send me an email, phone number, and I will call you and we will talk. So there you have it. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why building wealth for the vast majority of people that are going to watch this video is going to be extremely difficult. And many of you will not. And the reason why is because there won't be any introspection into why it is that I'm moving from here to here, okay? And I get asked this question a whole lot, and I'm going to share with you what's going on with me and where I'm at in life on what I am trying to work on with myself as well, okay? And the thing about it is that I haven't met anybody that's had this innate drive that they were just born with financial literacy and their mind totally worked on building wealth. There's been a number of things that most everybody has had to do, shifts that they've had to make, skills they had to learn, things they had to do over here and over there to make this thing happen and everything, so stay tuned. All right, here's the first thing that we're going to talk about that prevents people from becoming wealthy, okay? Now, being rich, you got $1 million in the bank. Well, we'll say 2 million. That's rich. It's the bottom of being rich. Being wealthy, having $20,000 a month coming in, basically not having to do too much for, okay? I'd much rather have the $20,000 a month every day of the week than the 2 million. Now, if somebody gave me 2 million, I can put that to work, but I would do something to make it generate money. But here's where most people, the vast majority of people, and it's absolutely shocking, okay, to find this out, but it has to do with saving. It's incredible how many people have huge amounts of cash sitting in a bank account. Now, this is not, I'm telling you to get everything out, put it in a box, bury it in the backyard, get some mason jars, nothing of that nature, okay? But what I do want you to understand is that, like, right now, if you go and put money in for an 18-month commitment at a credit union, they will pay you 4%. You know what they would pay a year ago? Less than 1%. Do you know why that is? Here's the thing. There's a magical thing that occurs. It's called inflation. Now, you'll hear all kinds of figures back and forth and everything, and just for the sake of argument, you know what I'm going to do? Inflation was 9% last year, okay? Which means that if your money's making 4%, you have a negative 5%. That means that you lost $5 for every 100 that you have invested or have in a bank in a savings account. Okay? Some people will tell you that's what I'm doing to invest my money. Whatever you do, just automatically cut that out. Saving account is not an investment. Okay? All it is a vehicle to place your money for keeping. Okay? It's backed by what we call the FDIC. It's an insurance company that basically says, hey, if you put your money in the bank and it's a certain amount, then we insure it if something goes bad and the bank goes under. Banks do go under, okay? Not often, but they do, all right? So the first thing is what are we taught as a child? Hey, you need to save your money, you know? This is something that I got right here. Big jar, okay? We all got one similar to that somewhere. I just throw my change in there, okay? At the end of the year, there's usually $150, $200. I go and dump it at the bank, cash it in, take that money and buy stock in Southern Company. That's what we're taught as young kids from the time, you know, you need to save your money. Savings is good, okay? Nobody says, you need to invest your money, Johnny. Johnny, you need to get into an index fund. Mary, you need to get into an Johnny, at 5 years old, people generally speaking are not saying, hey, you need to buy a multifamily, you need to buy a trailer park, you need to be in an RV park, you need to buy a single family home. They're not saying those kind of things. Got to get out of this. Have 3 to 6 months, living expenses in the savings account, and then boom, you're done, okay? Then we're going to do something else. All right, this is thing that I'd done, the dump trailer hustle. Had a great time doing it when the hurricane started. Made a lot of money from that idea. People say, oh man, you're an entrepreneur. I really don't think of myself as an entrepreneur. I think of myself as what we call an opportunist, okay? I saw an opportunity, I acted on it, I made a lot of money, and then I ended up selling one trailer, still got 3. And I'll probably end up selling another one because they're just kind of sitting around and I'm really not pumping them that much and everything. But here's the thing is that the vast majority of people get their money from a job, okay? Now, do you have to get money from a job? No. You can actually get money from a business. You can start a side business. You can start a side hustle. You can start cutting grass. You got a regular, okay? I'm not telling anybody in suggesting go out, quit your job, and then start a business, okay? What I am saying is this, is that having to do, Tyson the real estate pit bull trying to get in, what I am saying is that this is where we get our money from, okay? Your lifestyle is adjusted to basically the money that you make. Very few people start out saying, okay, 30% of my pay is what I'm going to live on and the rest of it I'm going to use to better myself and create financial independence. Virtually nobody goes into the workforce thinking like that, okay? So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to start a side hustle. We're going to have to get income coming in, okay? The thing with that is that a lot of times that we've got this mindset of what are we supposed to work? 40-hour work week. You know how that came about? A union in Germany announced about the 40-hour work week, okay? The rest of the world basically adopted it. Generally speaking, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 2 days of rest. Here's the thing is, there's nothing, if you live in a capitalist society, there's nothing that says you can't go after more. Now, if you're in a communist country or a socialist state, you don't get that opportunity because your ability to earn is dictated by what the government says. Never forget that, all right? This country, you don't have to go after everything if you don't want to. Other countries, if you wanted to, you don't get that opportunity. Why do you think when immigrants come here, that they're all just, you know, hit the floor running and everything. You know, I do estimating for a roofing company, and I hear people all the time, oh, those Mexicans are taking all our jobs and everything. No, they're not. One, you won't get to come to work. Number two, you think you need $25 an hour to start, and you don't, okay? Though, you know what the number one compliment that I've had from customers having to do with them working is the way that they work. They say nothing. They're not on their phones all day. They're just like a fine oiled machine. Everybody knows their job. They do it and everything like that. And then boom, it's done. You know, they take pride in what they do. So we need to increase our income, okay? Here's the thing. You're going to hear people say, well, if you just cut out the Starbucks and you do this, okay, great. How much money do you think you can really save, okay? It's a whole lot easier for you to make an extra 10 grand than it is for you to save 10 grand and cut that out of your budget, all right? I like the coffees, I like the frou-frou creamer, I like all that kind of stuff and everything. So no, I'm not going to cut that. I'm not going to stop getting massages. I'm not going to stop eating steak and lobster and everything. But what I am going to do is I'm going to increase my income, all right? In my opinion, this right here is probably going to be the number one attribute, characteristic, whatever you want to say, that you've got to be willing to do that will prevent the mammoth amount of people not to obtain wealth is this right here. Whatever it is, okay? Here's the thing is that when you start on this journey, grind time is from the word go. That's when you need to be hammering it the hardest, okay? And I'm going to tell you why, because the magic of compound interest. The more money that you start with and get rolling, the better off you're going to do, okay? And the kind of the way that this thing works is going to be like year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, okay? Now, this is where you're starting at. This is basically how this thing is going to look. And that's almost exactly how it works, okay? About year 5, this is what my buddy Gerald Peters, it's called the suck. It's no fun, okay? It's no fun being in here, all right? And as you start doing this, and you do some sacrifices, guess what? You're going to have friends that you're going to lose because they're, hey, John, let's go to the bar this weekend. No, man, I'm saving my money. I'm going to invest it. Well, man, that's just square. You know, you can lose money in the stock market and everything. I don't know why you want to do something like that. My cousin used to invest at one time. He lost everything. I mean, he was in the oil field and he was speculating on land and everything and lost everything. I don't know why you want to do that or anything. It's coming, okay? Be prepared, all right? Redneck Robert told you all of this, okay? You will lose friends, okay? The vast majority are going to say you're crazy, you're stupid, you don't know what you're doing, okay? And they don't want to sacrifice. You're going to have to say no to new shoes, cars, vacation, tools, purses, whatever it is, okay? Because we need to be putting as much money into this investment vehicle early as possible, okay? We're going to keep on contributing to it, okay, if that's what you want to do. But again, it's going to suck from 1 to 5, but year 6 and 7, when it really starts to climb, and it climbs fast because the magic of compound interest is giving it momentum, it's giving it some velocity, okay? Here's the thing, let me ask you folks, whenever they shoot a rocket, like when they put the man on the moon, okay, what if it just stopped halfway? Oh, we're just going to take a break. You know, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to chill out today. You know, we're just going to take it easy and everything like that. You know, I have people all the time, man, it sure must be nice being in your position and everything. Everything that I do, I have not found the cure for cancer. I haven't found a vaccine for polio, AIDS, nothing. I have done nothing special. I am not extraordinary whatsoever. Okay. Here's the thing that appears to be magic power. but it's available to anybody and you can do it. What is it? Six-day work week. Half of you just said, this is why I can't do this like he does. I got kids, I got this, I got that, I got, you know, something, okay? You'll find an excuse, I guarantee that, okay? We'll find an excuse if that's what you really want. Now, however, if you really want to build some wealth, okay, and you're thinking about that, you know, by age 40, 45, I don't want to have to work anymore, and I want to be able to go to the Maldives for 2 weeks. You know, a $20,000 vacation is not out of the question. When I book that cruise, I want the balcony. When I go to concerts, I want the box seat. You know, when I take a vacation, I want to fly a private jet. You know, this is all possible, okay? It is. Right? This is even possible to the common working man with less than an average IQ, all right? But you're going to have to make a sacrifice. I've never heard anybody say, you know what? I just all of a sudden, you know, I stopped drinking that coffee and I quit going out to eat, you know, twice a week and everything. And, you know, and 10 years later, I woke up with an extra 2 to 3 million. I haven't heard that yet. Got back from break. Going to talk a little bit about another thing having to do with it is your mindset. Poor people look at money to spend. Middle class people look at money to do this with. Well, you know, I got this amount in 1K over here, and I got this in my Roth IRA, and I got this, and everything's nice and neat. Okay? Yep. Got it. And those are good. That's good. Okay? Spending money, that's not so good. All right? This is what the wealthy think of money. Money is a tool to make more money. Every dollar in your pocket is a soldier on the war of poverty. I didn't say that. I don't remember who. I think it was Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary. That is exactly what the deal is, okay? Every time that you spend money on something that does not put money in your pocket, you are slowing the process of you obtaining wealth up. You are putting a wedge between you and your financial goal, all right? And the thing about it is that once you start to see that graph start going up, you will truly understand what it is that I mean, in the sense that, you know, and here's the thing, I'm involved in real estate. I only buy one stock, okay? If I was in my early 20s and knew what I knew today, I'd be involved with index funds at, you know, 7 to 12%, whatever they make over the year that they've been making the last 30 years. And that would be it. Okay, I wouldn't be involved in real estate. This week has been the most physically demanding week I've worked in the last 5 years. Had 2 houses, one of them totally, all the water pipes burst because they were frozen. Yeah, here in Florida. We ended up having to replumb the whole thing. Fat boy, I'm on. Thank God there's enough room for us to be able to move around underneath the house and everything, so we were able to get it replumbed. Normally that's going to be not a long job. It'll be about 4 or 5 hours. Unfortunately, they had 2 pipes running underneath the house to supply water, and I couldn't find the other one. And so we ended up having to cap it off and then run the rest of the pipes. So long story short, the great thing is we have the skill set, we have the manpower, probably saved about $5,000 replumbing the whole house. We went back with PEX pipe. It will freeze, it will expand, it will contract, and as long as you don't have it in the sunlight, it's not going to split. So that's a good thing, all right? Here's the thing, had to get it done, all right? And even if I wanted to and would be willing to pay a plumber to come out and spend $5 grand on it, I couldn't get one because there's 20,000 other houses with broken pipes in my hometown. So there you have it. I mean, that's what it is right there. Money is a tool to make more money, okay? What happens when we think, just romanticize, close your eyes right now. You're going down the road, stop. There's a shoebox. You stop, you get out, you open it up, $50,000 in there. What are you going to do with it? The vast majority of you all already thought about boat, new car, new kitchen, remodel the bathroom. You've already got the money spent. Why do you think that they do the earned income credit for income tax people? To put that money back into circulation. And if you study how that money works, it's not that the government's giving us anything. Other people are paying that. People that don't earn it receive it, and guess what? They put it back into circulation. If you can imagine, if a person that has 2 children out of wedlock and they're getting like $75,000, $8,000 back every January or February from income tax, if they took from the time they were 20 to 25, never touched that money, took it and put it straight into an index fund, and then never invested another dime for the rest of their life, where do you think they'd be at by the time they were age 50, 55? My challenge to you is figure that out. We'll just say simple 8% return on the money. Compound it every year though. It'd be huge, okay? Absolutely huge. And all they would have to do is sacrifice 5 years of not touching that money. Oh, that's sacrifice. Last thing, you wrap your mind around this. 1, stop saving your money. Number 2, not only do you have a job, but you do something else to bring in extra money. Number 3, we're sacrificing our time to bring in some extra money. 4, we're changing our mindset as far as what needs to be done with. It's not that we're getting extra money so we can buy a new bass boat or a new hunting rifle or a new purse or new shoes or, remodeling the bathroom. No, we're using that money to do what? Invest. Let's talk about what an investment is, okay? Is a car an investment? Answer's no, all right? In some certain regards, there can be. If you buy like a GT350 Shelby Cobra, there's a good chance that's going to be an investment because that will appreciate you, okay? Now, if you were to buy, we'll say like a Jeep, and a Jeep that's 4 years old, you put it on Turo and it started making money. Is that an investment? Nah, not quite, okay? That's a cash generating machine for you, and we can take that and put it into an investment, okay? The definition of an investment is anything that you can buy one time that will continue to put money into your pocket on a regular basis. Rental property. You buy a house one time. You don't have to buy that house every year. You buy that house that year, and guess what? Somebody continues to put money in your pocket every month when they pay rent, okay? Now, ebook, yeah, be an investment. You invest your time, you write a book, and guess what? You can sell that for the next 1,000 years. You can have 10 generations of your lineage that can get paid from that ebook right there. It's what we call digital real estate. All right? Flipping houses, is that an investment? No. I'll tell you why. Because once you flip, you got to flip another to be able to get paid. Now, here's the thing though that can be an investment with flipping is if you're the person that's putting the money up and you're like a hard money lender, okay, you're making a short-term investment into something, and I say short-term because it's not like you're doing a 30-year mortgage on it, okay? This is a cash-generating machine, hopefully. However, this is really not an investment. And it's a funny thing. I know a lot of people that are flippers, okay, and they do it on huge scales. And I talk with them and I'm like, yeah, that's the next thing I need to do. I really want to do that and everything. And they're like, man, I want to be you. I want rental properties because every time that I do one of these, I got to do another one to get paid. You get paid every month, Rob. You buy a house, you fix it up, it's good to go. You get paid every month. I got to keep on doing this to be able to get paid. dividend-paying stocks. GE, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, AT&T, Apple, Microsoft, Bill Gates, Tesla, PayPal, Home Depot, you name it, okay? All of these that pay a dividend, all right? If it does not pay you a dividend, then the only time that you buy a stock and it doesn't pay and that you make money on it is when you sell it. And you better hope that when you go to sell it, it sells for more than what you paid for it. So here's the thing is that stock market is only an investment if it pays you dividends, okay? And there's a tremendous amount out there that pays 6 to 12%. Anybody got an idea as far as on the grand scheme of things, when you look at something, all these across the board that you could possibly do if you're in the United States of America that are generally speaking what everybody else is doing, the return that you should be looking for. And I'm not saying, well, the return that you would expect that's normal, 6 to 8%. That's it. All right? Now, if you have $1 million in the bank, or no, not in the bank, if you got $1 million invested, okay, and we'll say you're 70% in the stock market and then 30% like in bonds and a RIT fund and stuff like that, okay, you know what the average amount is that you should be able to take out of that without messing with the $1 million? What I mean is making the $1 million shrink. 4%, $40,000. Then guess what? You got to pay taxes on that, okay? So when you work it out, it really comes out to about $28,000. Now, if you can have a good life on $28,000 a year, more power to you. All right, this fat boy, that ain't gonna happen. Okay, so here's the thing. What's the last thing that's a great investment? Real estate. My buddy Rick Jarman, I heard him talk about when he was in his early 20s, late teens, he remembers seeing a duplex in his hometown in Alabama. He said, I drove by it again almost 60 years later, and I remember seeing duplex and thinking to myself, that duplex has been paying somebody money every month for that many years, okay? And generally speaking, your appreciation is about 5%. So if you got a $2 million portfolio of properties, okay, generally speaking, you make $100,000 a year on the appreciation of the value of those properties going up, okay? On average, generally speaking, we've seen some where, I had one that, I bought a duplex at $90,000 and 3.5 years later, I got a loan on it for $130,000 because it was worth $190,000. It had gone up 100% in 3.5 years. That's an anomaly. It's a freak. It doesn't happen, okay? Here's the thing is that generally speaking, 5% appreciation is standard, okay? My parents bought a house, their first house, and it was 17% interest on that mortgage. And they thought they were getting a good deal, Nowadays, people pay 6%. And they're like, golly, man, I can't believe this. 2 years ago, it was at 2%. That was an anomaly. Get used to it, folks. People come to me and say, well, what do you think about 8%? I said, man, I'll pay 20% interest on a mortgage if the numbers work. The numbers have got to work. It doesn't matter what the interest rate is. The numbers have got to work, okay? And that's the thing is people say, well, is this a good deal? Well, I'll help you to find out if it's a good deal or not so that you can do this every time after that. But if I do it for you and say, well, that's a good deal, all I've done is teach you to eat for a day. I want you to be able to eat for a lifetime. So teach the man how to fish. Don't take him fishing. Teach him how to fish. So there you have it. If you will sit there and quit putting your money in banks, okay, look at some investments, get some kind of side hustle going, up your money coming in from your job, start sacrificing some of your time. Yeah, I know it's going to suck, but you don't have to do it for the rest of your life, okay? You do not. But trust me, when it gets to a certain point, it's going to be really sweet because When you go to that rack at the convenience store and say, you know what, I want that $25 bag of beef jerky, you're not having to say, well, I wonder where I'm at this month. Where's my budget at and everything. You just buy what you want. There's a heck of a freedom that comes with that. Or when you sit there and say, I want the $800 seats at the concert. I don't want them $50 ones that's, 100 rows back. I can't see that far, all right? So then your mindset, what is money? In this country, you're born and trained to be a consumer. You're trained to spend money, okay? They're not teaching you in high school how to invest money. There's a reason for that. They want to keep you as an employee for the rest of your life. The person that designed the school system as we know it today is John Rockefeller. What was Rockefeller? He was a business owner. What does business owners need? Employees. You don't believe what I'm saying? Take a look at how the school system in New York City, that's where it originated from, and who started that, who gave them a manual on how to do it. It was him, okay? Take a look at it. Last, final thing, you need to invest your money. Your money has to beat inflation, okay? And generally speaking, I understand at times, we could have, costs go wild and go up 30% in 1 year and your investment's not gonna, okay? But generally speaking, you need to be looking for returns on, I'm looking for returns on my investments at minimum of 8% and greater, okay? I get fantastic returns with real estate, anywhere from, 22 to I've gotten 60% returns having to do with real estate, and then I'm left with an asset that keeps putting money in my pocket. The whole thing about it is that one, it's not going to happen overnight. Number two, you got to be consistent with it. You got to be disciplined. And number three, if you don't enjoy doing it, you're not going to do it, okay? I love what I do, so I'm very blessed and fortunate. If you're not into making money and everything, but you do want financial independence, check out the stock market. Check out mutual funds. Vanguard's got a bunch of them, Magellan. Find one that looks good to you, put your money into it, and send them a check, and don't worry about it. That's truly the only passive income that's available in this country, because all you got to do is write out a check, and that's it. I get a statement every month from Southern Company on how many shares my account has grown because I leave the dividends in there and let it keep on rolling over. So there you have it. That's Redneck Robert. Why you're not going to become rich, 5 reasons, and if you stop doing those, you will become wealthy. And that's what I want to see. I want to see you wealthy. I want to see you saying, yeah, let me get the lobster with the steak, I don't want you to say, well, we're going to have to wait till next month and we're going to have to save a little bit and everything like that. No, hell no. Don't be doing that. That ain't no kind of life, Get out there, man. Let's make it happen. Again, if you want my time, you want 15 minutes on the phone, free of charge, send me an email, include your phone number, and I will give you a call. Have yourself a wonderful day.